Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am sitting down today to plan my January menus. I have done several monthly menu plans. I've been planning my menu this way for quite a while. I used to go week by week, but now I just kind of sit down and plan out the whole month at a time. I just find that it's easier just to sit down at one time and plan out the entire month of dinners. So basically, when I sit down to plan my menu plan, I have two things. I have one cookbook. I make a lot of meals from memory, so there are quite a few meals on our monthly menu plan that I don't really need a recipe for. But usually what I like to do is just grab one cookbook that just maybe has me inspired at the moment and grab that and then just use that just to kind of fill in the blanks that I need another meal for. The other thing that I have is my January, or today it's January, but I have my monthly menu planner. You can get this for free on my website. I will have the link to go and grab that below. But every month I send this out, just a monthly menu planner so that you can fill out your own as well. The side here has a spot for breakfast and lunch. I don't really plan my breakfast and lunch, so I think a lot of people kind of plan that way, like they have their dinner plan, but not necessarily exactly what they're gonna do for breakfast and lunch. So we just kind of have a rotating few breakfasts and lunch ideas that I just make sure we have the ingredients for those on hand. And then I just go through and put down the meal for that day. The other thing, I actually need three things. The other thing that I need is my planner so that I can look at my planner while I'm filling in my monthly menu planner so that I can see that I'm not, if we're gonna be gone for a weekend, I don't need to take the time to think of meals for that weekend. Or if we're gonna be busy on certain days, I need to make sure that that meal is a super quick one or something like that. So those are like the three things that I need. So, and then today, I wanted to show you guys this. Today I am using this new cookbook. I got this around Christmas time. This is Pioneer Woman's new cookbook. It's called Dinner's Ready. And I will say, I think that I have almost all of her cookbooks. And, when I say that I have a lot of her cookbooks, people are always like, well, what's your favorite or which one would you recommend? That's so hard because I love Pioneer Woman's recipes. I would say that I have my favorites over others. I really like her holiday one, but that's one that I don't use a lot, but I do use it for most of the major holidays, or if it's Valentine's Day and I really just want to make something fun, I'll pull it down and get ideas from her. This one though is brand new and I have not made anything of it out of it. So this will be kind of an experiment month, but they all look really good. And I will say, after getting her cookbooks for so many years, I love the things that she shares. She doesn't overshare, I think, about her family, but, she homeschooled her kids for a long time. I'm not sure if she homeschooled all the way through. So I just kind of felt like there's a connection there. And then she also shares little tidbits about her life. And I think that, her husband, they run like a big cattle ranch, and I grew up in rural South Dakota in the rural Midwest. And so we didn't actually live on a farm, but a lot of like her farm life talk really resonates with me. And so I love, just those little glimpses into her life. And so that being said, this cookbook right here, in the intro, she talks about how her youngest has now graduated. And so her youngest, she has 2 girls, 2 boys. So that's another connection that I think is kind of fun. Now she has, her youngest has graduated. And so she's talking about how they're empty nesters and how things just look a little bit differently in her home than they once did when she started writing cookbooks. She also talks a lot about teenagers and growing boys in this cookbook, and food that teenagers will like, especially teenage boys who just eat a ton. So I read through this cookbook when I got it. I haven't made anything from it, but I read through it cover to cover because I like to do that with cookbooks. When she talked about that feeling of like that shift of like your kids are getting older, your role as mom is changing, your role in the kitchen is changing. While I'm not quite to where she is yet in her like stage of parenting, you know, you can kind of see it coming. And so I don't know, it's a lot for a cookbook, right? Like it's like way deeper than just your January menu plan. But all that to say, I'm excited to pull from this cookbook and plan my January menu, and I will see how we like it. The recipes look amazing. I very seldom have made a recipe of hers that I felt like didn't turn out. So that being said, I am going to start by plugging in my menu or my menu items onto my menu planner, and I will then come back at the end and actually tell you guys what I'm planning to make for this month. All right, so January is filled in. I think we have a pretty good menu for the month. I did really like pulling stuff out of this cookbook. I will say there is an entire section in here that it's not really meals. This one, I want to make like everything. This is just, it's called Flavorful Fridge Grabs, and it's like pickled peppers, caramelized onions, just different like salsas and relishes that you can make to, you know, just enhance your recipes and just, I don't know, make them more interesting. Like these pickled peppers to put on top of burgers, like that kind of thing. So this just has a ton of this is just a dressing. I love making her, well, I love making my own dressings anyway, but she has really good recipes for like different salad dressings, which could go on sandwiches and all kinds of stuff too. So I did grab quite a few from this cookbook. Here's the menu. I like to just kind of plan like this. So first of all, I just like cross off days that we're going to be gone or I don't need to make a dinner. Saturdays are really for leftovers, so that's why I just filled in there. Fridays are really mostly for pizzas. We'll either order out or we'll just make our own with like our sourdough crust. This day we're having friends over, so I'm not quite sure what we'll make for that yet. And then on Sundays, I like to do just like a big like one pot dinner. So I have like do a roast chicken, Mississippi pot roast. I will put a link for this in the description. Everybody I know is making this, and usually I'm like not a big fad person. So I'm like, is it gonna be good? Is it not gonna be good? This is so good. So I made it once and everybody loved it. So we're gonna try it again. And then just a meatloaf and mashed potatoes, which I guess isn't really a one pot meal, but it's kind of like one of those comfort foods, which feels good for a Sunday. And then Thursday, I just did all soups. So we're going to do chili, beef and vegetable soup. These are both just kind of like memory recipes. I don't really have a recipe. Same with the chicken noodle soup. And then this one, bean and bacon soup. This is one that I grabbed my December menu just for some ideas because I knew that there was a lot on here that I didn't make, you know, even though it was on my menu plan. So I was like pulling stuff that I didn't actually make. This is from a different Pioneer Woman cookbook. So I will link that as well. And then Wednesday, these are all just kind of easy meals just because this is a night that I'm mostly just with the girls, and the girls, the guys are out of the house, then they do dinner somewhere else. And so these are just like things that are really easy and simple that I can kind of throw together. A tomato soup with a grilled cheese, spaghetti, a sausage and pepper, sheet pan supper. So basically you just chop up or slice colored peppers, or just green peppers is fine, and then onions, slice some onions and put them on a baking sheet with some sausage and just bake them with some olive oil too. And then quiche with salad, again, just like a memory recipe. And then on Tuesdays, I always do like some kind of Taco Tuesday. So I've got chicken tacos that I will just probably put some chicken breast in the crock pot with some taco seasoning and then shred those and then just make tacos out of them. Chicken and rice. This is like a Mexican chicken and rice that I got from the Pioneer Woman cookbook. It looked really yummy, and you kind of make it in a skillet. So we're going to do that. We're going to try that. And then I always put the page number on there so I can remember. I can just really easily find it. And then we're going to do a pork burrito bowls. My writing was not great on this. And then a shrimp street taco, which was also in the Pioneer Woman cookbook. And then on Mondays, these can also kind of be busy nights. We have activities on some of these Mondays. We're going to do wings and fries just in the air fryer with like salt and pepper. They're not breaded or anything. We just throw wings into the air fryer. These two sandwiches, these cheeseburger sliders and these Hawaiian beef sandwiches, these are both hot sandwiches that are also in the Pioneer Woman cookbook. So we're going to try those. And then on the last one, I'm going to do another roast beef and potatoes. That's a really easy one. And you can just put it in and kind of forget about it, which is really good for busy nights. All right, guys, it feels so good to have January's menu plan filled in. I also wanted to show you that when you download the menu plan, you also get this kind of family idea calendar for the month. It has like a scripture memory verse that you can do. It has book ideas. It has just activity ideas, just fun things to do with your family. It's hyperlinked, so you can print it out, but you can also just look at it on, on your computer screen, and then you can like access the links and stuff. But that's available on my website. Again, I will link to that down below. So I hope this gave you some good ideas. I always like to see what other people are making for dinner because, I don't know, to me, life is just so much smoother when you have an idea of what's for dinner. I don't know why it seems like such a huge thing to think of every day, but it does. So I feel like it just helps so much with just decision fatigue to sit down, plan out what you're having for dinner. This is December for the entire month, and then you're just done. And so anyway, I hope this gave you some good ideas. See the links below for some of these. Again, some of them are just, when you cook for your family for a long time, you just kind of develop recipes that you don't need a recipe for. So I don't have recipes for those, but what I can link, I will link down below. I hope this was helpful. If this was helpful, leave me a comment and let me know if you like to see these types of videos. Also give me a thumbs up and a subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll see you in the next one.